Today we're going to make a hazelnut chiffon cake. Let's get started. First, mix the oil and flour. First, combining the oil and flour is simple and won't develop gluten. You can stir it any way you want and you don't have to sieve the flour neither. Now add the egg yolks, milk, and ground hazelnut. This is the type of ground hazelnut I use. The package says hazelnut flour, but all it is just hazelnuts that are finely ground. So if you have a food processor, you could just grind some hazelnuts without buying this. Stir until all well combined. Now let's whip the egg whites. Add cream of tartar to the egg whites and beat on high speed. Cream of tartar can stabilize the meringue. If you don't have it, you can add a small teaspoon of lemon juice instead. You can use a hand mixer for this, both methods will work just fine. When you see big bubbles forming, add a third of the sugar. Continue to beat on high speed. When the foams become finer and silkier, you can add another third of the sugar. Continue to beat on high speed. The foam will continue to get silkier, and the whites will be starting to hold the trail of the whisk. At this point, you can add the remaining sugar and beat on medium-high speed. Continue beating until you see some stiff peaks. After lifting the whisk, the meringue is stable and firm and the peak will not drip. Scoop about 1/3 of the egg whites to the batter and fold it in gently. This is to lighten the batter initially and prepare it for the rest of the egg whites. Once it's mixed well, change to a spatula and pour it into the egg whites. Continue to fold gently until it's all combined. Repeat this movement until the batter is homogeneous. Don't overdo it. Transfer the batter into the pan immediately. Shake it, tap it a couple of times to get rid of the big bubbles, and draw a few circles with a toothpick to flatten the surface. Place in the preheated oven and bake at 300 degrees for 15 minutes. Personally, I prefer to bake it at 300 degrees for 40 minutes, then increase the temperature to 320 degrees for 5 minutes. This is after a few testings with my oven, as oven temperature varies. If I just bake it at 300 degrees for 50 minutes, even though it's perfectly baked, the top of the cake will be a bit sticky after it's cool. So if you have the same problem, you can do the same switch. Once it's out of the oven, tap it on the table once, then cool it upside down. It will take 2 to 3 hours to cool completely. While waiting for the cake to cool, let's make some chocolate pieces for decoration. First, roughly chop up some hazelnuts. This is the type I use. It's toasted and ready to eat. You can also buy it raw and toast it yourself. You can just chop them with a knife or use a rolling pin like I did. This is good enough. Put some semi-sweet chocolate chips in the microwave-safe bowl. Heat this in the microwave 3 times in 30-second intervals. Take it out every 30 seconds and stir it around. Doing this will allow time for heat to transfer evenly. If you just do it for 1.5 minutes straight, you will burn the chocolate. So be patient and do it 30 seconds at a time. Once it's all nicely melted, pour it on a piece of plastic sheet or parchment paper. The length of this plastic sheet is the outer length of my 6-inch cake pan, about 19 inches long. Spread it out evenly with a spatula. Sprinkle the chopped hazelnuts on there. Roll it up, secure it with a glass, and put this in the fridge to set for about an hour. I have some chocolate left, so I'm going to coat some hazelnuts with this. Spread them out on a piece of parchment paper and put them in the fridge. The chocolate is now hardened. You can unroll the paper. The chocolate will just fall off and form beautiful looking chocolate bark. Now that the cake is cool, remove it from the pan carefully, then slice it into 3 layers. Flatten the top as well. Now we'll make the hazelnut whipped cream frosting. Combine a little bit of heavy whipping cream, powdered sugar, and hazelnut spread into the mixing bowl. Give it a quick mix to lighten the hazelnut spread. Now pour in the rest of the cream and whip on high speed until it thickens. This is good. Let's start decorating. Add a little bit of cream at the bottom to secure the cake to the cake board. Apply a very thin layer of hazelnut spread. This is optional. I did it because I like to see the darker chocolate layer once it's sliced. Next, apply a layer of cream. Repeat these steps. The top layer is usually the bottom of the cake. This is because it's the flattest part and will be easier to frost. Cover the entire cake with whipped cream. Smooth it out the best you can. It doesn't need to be perfect because it will have chocolate decoration all over it. Transfer the rest of the cream into a piping bag. Now add the chocolate pieces around the cake. Put some cream on top and add the chocolate-covered hazelnuts. For the finishing touch, sprinkle some hazelnuts on top. And this is now completed. This cake is bursting with hazelnut flavor in every bite. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching.